My name is Julie Hurst, and I am a positive psychologist. I work mainly with schools, helping them bring the benefits of positive psychology into both the classroom and the staff room. Positive psychology is a growing worldwide movement for schools, but rather than take my word about its benefits, I've conducted a series of interviews with head teachers I've worked with who've seen the impacts of positive psychology in their school for themselves. The first one is with Deborah Brown, the head teacher at Buckton Vale Primary School. And we begin our conversation with Deborah explaining why she came to positive psychology for her school in the first place.
I'm a grief recovery specialist. Okay, so I qualified as a grief recovery specialist in 2018, and that was linked to some significant loss in my personal life, but also linked to a telephone call with a parent who had gone into palliative care. And I made lots of promises to that parent about how I was going to look after her young person, like we do in education. We do that a lot. It was quite clear to me when I put the phone down that actually I'd just winged that conversation. And I was a bit concerned about why I'd done that, but also what was there in education to support us, to support young people that were going through some significant loss in their life. So that led me on a little bit of a journey of learning to find out what was out there to support young people. And inevitably, it led me to the world of positive psychology. And by complete chance, I ended up at a conference that you were delivering a speech on. And it's almost like the universe had sent me there purposefully, because, of course, took me on a thought, I suppose, a real deep thought process of, well, hang on a minute, how do I get some of what you were telling us in the conference into our school? And how do I make that work for us? And for the children and staff, not just the children, but the staff as well, in order to change people's mindsets. And I think the best thing we did was book a few inset days so that we were all able to be together and learn about positive psychology together. With the learning that we've done from you and the inner critic work, the children have been taught about the inner critic and how we can quieten our inner critic and how we are in charge of what is going on in our minds. For some of our children, we were finding, before we found you, we were finding that there was a lack of self-belief from a few of them. And this message that I can't do that, or I'm not good at that, or such a body's better than me, my grades are not good, or my maths is not good. And we're trying to stop that language. We're trying, and I think it's an onward journey. I don't think we're there yet. I think we've got a long way to go, but we're trying to stop the language of I can't. We've really hit the ground running, and I personally think that education has to go in this way. It has to follow the positive psychology learning tools. For me, that is definitely the future of education, and that will without doubt lead us to high attainment. It will lead us to happier children, happier staff, and happier environment generally. And so I have definitely got a bit of an inner passion for it now, as you know, and without doubt we will continue our journey of learning in the world of positive psychology.
Now, you're recognised now as a positive education school.
Yep.
And, obviously you're very committed to that. How did the staff find it? Because positive education training is like no other, really. And it's highly practical and very participatory. And sometimes I know teachers can find that, well, this is such a different way of thinking. How did Buckton Vale take to that whole school journey?
They've absolutely loved it, and I think that the course itself, the positive psychology course, Everyday Magic, it's not being done to you, it's being done with you. There's a togetherness about the course, and that's really important to us. And so certainly the practicalities of the tasks where, we learn to balance an egg, That's quite challenging, but it's brilliant to teach us about grit and determination, something that I've always found is very important. I was an underachiever at school, and so I think I've always had a bit of a grit and determination to prove people wrong. And instilling that in the children is important, but instilling it in the staff in many respects is even more important. There has to be a grit and determination to be the best teacher, to be the best support staff member, in order for us to become the best school and offer the best possible education. So the teachers have absolutely loved it. The support staff that were involved absolutely loved it. In fact, even to a point where those members of staff that might feel the trepidation of a course where they've got to get involved and think, oh, what's she going to ask me to do? I don't want to do it. Even those members of staff have suggested how brilliant it was. And the fact that they've then been able to do a few of the tasks together, and that there needed to be some teamwork in order to be able to try and fix a problem. That was also excellent. I can't recommend it enough. I think that every school should take part in the Everyday Magic training. It's without doubt in my mind amongst the best training there is out there. And it's definitely going to change the course of education.
You have, as I say, been recognised as a positive education school, which took huge effort and commitment from all of the staff. Parents coming to the school to visit it now as a positive education experience, what do you think they might notice about Buckton Vale that helps it to live this positive educational journey?
Well, it's a good question, because one of our values has been happiness, and it's been happiness for quite a long time, certainly for the last 6 or 7 years. But it's okay having a value that is happiness, but what does happiness actually mean, and how do we explain it to the children in terms of that value? It doesn't mean that we're expecting children to be happy all the time, and I think that was something that we needed to unpick. Because one of our messages to the children is it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be frustrated. But let's look at what these feelings mean to us and how we can emerge from them so that they don't become stuck. And in order to be able to process our feelings and teach the children how to emotionally regulate, that's, I think, the difference that parents will see, that our children are in a position now where they are better equipped to emotionally regulate. Well, thank you. It has made a difference to us here at Buckton Vale, and I'm sure we will continue to go from strength to strength.